Lepas tu datanglah si dalang ni, seorang dasim tengah-tengah ni, datang in the middle of the picture and they go like, dia ni mengganggu lah, kacau daun lah. We want them to get back together. Now, sebelum saya ni diviralkan, it involve a very high profile punya case. So when it involves celebrity punya case and yang nak bercerai, two of them are both celebrity. Similarly, people feel that they own these celebrities because it is, dia jadi peminat. Saya menemani my client masa-masa dia kena pergi ke mahkamah.
Yes.
Because lawyer dia tarik diri. Kerja lawyer dah diganti oleh cerai coach. So itu yang orang macam, oh, number one, engkau ni dah ganggu orang punya ni. Dan number dua, dia ni tiba-tiba pergi mahkamah syariah. Dia siapa? Dia expert agama ke? Dia lawyer ke? Kritikan tu maybe is also important to understand perspective of where the kritikan datang. Of all benda-benda yang dihalalkan, cerai is the one that Allah detests the most, right? Allah doesn't want us to take the marriage lightly.
Assalamualaikum guys and welcome back to the Satu Mesej podcast bersama saya Bro Joshua dan macam biasa Bro Shazwan.
Assalamualaikum.
So, hari ni kita ada satu guest yang istimewa.
Guest yang istimewa dan kat luar pun orang kata kontroversi sikit.
Kontroversi sikit.
Oi, ini kalau panas ni nak buka je. Kan? Jadi memang kita bawa kali ni guest yang memang tengah hot sekarang ni. Jadi hari ni kita boleh dengar secara live dan kita akan tanyalah macam-macam. Tapi jangan risau, kita tak balun, tak bantai kan. Kita nak borak-borak saja. So betul. Dengan kita Coach Cerai. Hi Coach.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Thank you to both of you for inviting me. Terima kasih.
Macam biasa, because we took quite a while also to bring you here, because there's a lot of back and forth and all that. So Coach, I think the first time I saw you, so it's probably on the news. There was some ongoing cases and whatnot. So that's the reason why aku tengok je guys, okay, we need this guy on the podcast. And then banyak juga Coach pernah pergi to all this kind of podcast to share your opinions on marriage, even relationships juga. But before we go into that, maybe you can share with us a bit about who you are, your background, and how should we actually address you? Sebab semua orang panggil Coach Cerai Coach,
Cerai Coach.
Initially it was Cerai Coach
Initially it was Cerai Coach, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, maybe you can share with us like a bit of your background and then why that term and all that lah.
Okay, cool. So we'll start a bit about I was born and raised here in Malaysia, KL, Kuala Lumpur. You did ask earlier offline just now, do I ada mix ke apa ke? Ada sedikit. Banyak campur-campur. I've got a little bit. My grandmother punya side ada European blood, so my mom is half Dutch. And then I have Indian blood as well because my dad punya side ada Indian blood, so campur-campur. So there's a little bit of Malay stuff.
Indian is our gang lah.
Kan? So my father punya side ada mama punya side.
Okay.
So campur-campur lah. They were all from Penang. My parents punya family, my father, mother both raised in Penang. So in my household, we grew up in a very English and Penang speaking household.
Right.
So when I went to all these podcasts, bila nak cakap Melayu, it took me a while for me to practice. My wife keeps on reminding me, she say you cakap Penang je lah.
Betul.
Right.
Boleh cam dah logat tu.
And I've gotten used to it. Dah boleh dah pandai sikit lah cakap. It's a bit more clear and smooth. So my background, obviously I went to school here in Malaysia, but when university I went to Scotland to study, and I studied finance. So finance have always been my background for more than 20 years.
20 years.
For more than 20 years, towards the end of last year, I decided to leave completely the finance industry.
Okay.
And when I was in finance industry, earlier before that, I was also in the insurance industry. My first job was in the insurance industry. I was an insurance adjuster selama 7 tahun. So, and I also did my diploma in insurance. So when it comes to general insurance, back then it was at my fingertips. I knew insurance very well. I had a brother who was also in insurance. So we were very much into that. And then later I went to finance. I was with a mutual fund. I grew my own agency. So semasa saya tengah buat mutual fund tu, because kita ada ramai downline, kita banyak menjaga orang downline dan sebagainya. And after that later I went to a foreign punya investment platform, also ada downline juga. Right? And masa tu downline tu ramai lah, from all over the world, sampai beribu kita orang ada downline masa tu. So that was where we made money. We made myself and my wife, we made money masa-masa dalam unit trust, and then later into the foreign investment as well. So dalam kita duk jaga downline tu, we are dealing with a lot of people, and we are also dealing with investors and stuff. So in that I did a lot of coaching and training. Right, because in regards to sales and also in regards to relationship building, and I went really heavily into learning about relationship, because learning about relationship is very applicable when it comes to doing sales and also nak menjaga your team dan sebagainya. So that was where I got a lot of inspiration and ideas in regards to relationship, and also something that's also dan also saya melalui all kinds of seminar dan programs. I did a lot of that. Right, I read a lot of relationship books. And the reason why I read a lot of relationship books is because if you want to learn sales, you know how to handle relationship, you'll be able to handle sales as well, right? Especially orang-orang yang dalam sales tu akan faham what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is why I usually tell people, right, if you can get if you're a playboy or what, means you're a damn good salesman.
Yeah, right. If you're a playboy, you're
a damn good salesman, because relationship is all about selling yourself lah.
Yeah,
you tak pandai means
right. And I was a useless playboy because my relationship kept on failing, you know. And I had two failed marriages before the marriage that I am currently in, and in between I tried to date and everything, tak boleh jadi playboy juga. So I had to learn all that. I had to understand the dynamics of female energy, the male energy, the masculine energy, and all those kind of things. And I really dive into all that, the psychology behind that, and I took courses and all those things. So saya memang dah ada semua tu sebelum ni. So now when we decided to leave the finance industry, my wife said, why don't you go into training, because you enjoy coaching and training. And even when we were in the finance industry, we had a lot of friends coming up to us, datang kat kita orang. Because my wife is a single mother, I was a single father.
Alright.
And we built this beautiful blended family together. Saya ada anak seorang lelaki, my wife ada anak seorang lelaki. Now not only that, we also get along well with our exes. Right? Nak kata best of friend tak ada lah, right? But on my side, there were years where we would even go on holidays together also. My wife together with my ex-wife punya husband and anak dia, you know. So the boys were all together like siblings. So when we share all that on Facebook, when we go on holidays, semua orang tanya, macam mana you buat? So we kept on giving them advice dan sebagainya. So my wife said to me, why don't we go into coaching and helping people in regards to either relationship or maybe sales or something like that. So I was toying between sales or relationship. And then I met this one particular mentor who says, well, you need to do social media. If you're going to go into this and you want to sell yourself, you're going to go into social media. So post a lot of contents. So I started posting a lot of contents on TikTok. And then one day I met a friend who is also into training dan coaching. So dia tanya saya, Izari, nama saya Izari by the way.
So
Cerai Coach Izari.
So how shall we address you throughout this podcast?
You can call me Coach or you can call me Izari.
Selalunya orang panggil Coach.
Dalam podcast ke dalam outside world?
Okay, dalam podcast and outside.
Dalam podcast usually now everybody calls me Coach. So I've gotten used to that.
Faham. Yeah, I think I was also calling Coach, right?
Yeah, you called me Coach when we were communicating kan. But my name is Izari, Muhammad Izari bin Muhammad Iqbal. That's my full name.
Okay, that's a nice name. I think we'll call you Izari lah kan?
Yes, go ahead. Up to you.
Okay lah.
Right.
Coach Izari. Both lah. Boleh. Okay, Coach. Sebelum tu, bila Coach cerita tentang daripada background kewangan, daripada situ, lepas tu dive in untuk lebih kepada personal relationship dan sebagainya. Ada satu persoalan yang biasalah orang kita ni, dia akan tanya, ini nak buat coaching ni ada lesen ke? Ada ambil tauliah ke?
Tauliah ke, something like that.
So orang macam ni kita nak fahamkan macam mana, apa yang kita boleh bagi tahu, adakah coach memang ada tauliah ataupun macam mana?
Right. So itu soalan yang bagus. So when I wanted to go into coaching, some of the things that I needed to do was also to get coaching punya certificates.
Faham.
Okay. Tapi ini saya nak bagi tahu ya, kat luar sekarang ni coaching berlambak-lambak. And in fact among coaches, I spoke to my cousin recently, dia kata fed up lah macam-macam jenis coach. I said yes, of course, because coach tak perlu certificate pun.
Oh, is it?
And that's why anyone can be a coach. And it's not against the law, it is not a crime either. But if you're a counsellor, itu perlu.
Okay.
Kalau counselor, therapist, psychologist, itu semua kena ada you punya the proper
memang kena
credential,
belajar
and you
lah.
must be registered dan sebagainya. Now bila orang cakap pasal coach, coach is an indicator. Coach is like a mentor, someone who has experienced something, and dia mengajar melalui experience dia.
Okay.
So banyak orang mempersoalkan kata dia ni apa, setakat cerai 2 kali macam tu siapa-siapa pun boleh jadi coach. Betul, benar, siapa-siapa pun boleh jadi coach kalau dia dah pernah bercerai. If they want to tell the story about, but here's the thing. Kalau kita duduk dengan klien dan kita sembang-sembang kosong macam tu saja, how do you help them?
Faham.
Right, so that was the reason why I did the coaching certification dan sebagainya, so that I can put my experience into frameworks and models. Because only in frameworks and models then orang pembelajaran tu boleh masuk. Macam mana kita nak ajar? So we have there are steps and guidelines as to how we want to guide them, right? Tapi kalau nak jadi coach yang sembang-sembang pun boleh juga. Tapi kalau tak efektif, tak ada result, siapa nak use sebagai coach?
Betul. And you also came up with like a e-book or something.
Yeah,
like
I did an e-book on e-book Perkahwinan, premarital e-book. So it's there's 15 questions to be discussed between antara you and your potential partner, ataupun kalau sebelum you nak berkahwin tu, you sit down and you discuss all that. And these are difficult questions.
Oh
to
wait,
ask.
so you do interesting. So because the perception now is like coach cerai, lepas orang cerai je dia jumpa you.
Well, sebenarnya coach cerai, that's what I do. But however, because I speak about relationship kan.
Okay.
So for example, kalau you masuk Baskin Robbins, the perception is dia jual ice cream.
Betul.
Tapi dia keropok ada, dia ada tu, dia. So these are all the extras that saya also provide, because I like to speak about relationships. So I do things in regards to. Now, here's the other thing as well. Bila orang dah cerai, the next thing that they want to do is mungkin dia nak masuk perkahwinan yang baru.
Betul.
So benda tu pun boleh pakai juga.
Betul.
Right? So coach cerai ialah pembangunan selepas bercerai. Dan selepas bercerai dari segi keuangan, relationship, co-parenting dengan the ex. Now that's one of the most difficult thing to navigate. And there is no guidance here in Malaysia. Orang kata ustaz ada, kita ikut saja ni, or ada counselor. Counselor is for you to probably fix your marriage. Tapi selepas marriage tu macam mana?
Yeah.
Right? And then kita boleh jumpa psychologist. Yes, you go and jumpa the psychologist to regulate your emotions, to lower down your trauma. But what are the strategies in terms of co-parenting? How do you do all that?
I think this is a very important and big issue as well, especially in Malaysia lah.
Yes.
Because they have a very negative connotation to like co-parenting tak boleh. Lepas dah kahwin cerai, separate forever. No touch base apa-apa.
Correct. And also there's this religious punya stigma to it as well,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because there is a hadith that says that of all benda-benda yang dihalalkan, cerai is the one that Allah detests the most, right? So because of that, orang kata people see it in a very negative way. Orang kata cerai tu tak boleh. Bukan tak boleh. Dihalalkan, tetapi that is the one yang, and the reason, and I think logically, so if you think about it, is that Allah doesn't want us to take the marriage lightly. Jangan senang-senang je kita nak ni, walaupun dihalalkan, tapi jangan senang-senang kita buang saja kita punya marriage. Work on it. And I think that's the reason why ada amaran keras. But however, if it doesn't work, then it is encouraged for you to separate daripada staying in a toxic relationship and affecting everything.
Yeah.
Betul. Okay coach, bila sebut tentang, yelah, selalunya bila tengok coach ni sebenarnya ada buat banyak. And bukan kata lepas cerai je, maksudnya sebelum cerai pun coach memang ada counselling, jumpa mereka dan kongsikan, orang kata apa, bagi settle down lah masalah-masalah kekeliruan yang ada dalam satu kekeluargaan tu lah, suami isteri dan sebagainya. Tapi kan ramai juga orang yang kecam kan, dia kata ada yang panggil coach ni adalah dasim. Dasim ni kalau kita tengok dia iblis dasim ni yang Dia kacau rumah tangga. Iblis ni dia tak suka kalau tengok pasangan bahagia, dia akan kacau rumah
The
tangga
third
tu.
person in the room lah.
Third person.
Third person lah kan.
Right.
So apa respon coach terhadap kritikan yang kata sebenarnya coach cerai ni adalah sebahagian daripada masalah, dia kata. Dia kata tak payah ada. Kalau tak ada lagi bagus. Jangan masuk campur lah urusan keluarga. Biarlah dia orang selesaikan. So macam mana kita nak jawab kritikan?
I think sebelum saya jawab kritikan tu, maybe it's also important to understand the perspective of where the kritikan datang. Datang dari mana, kenapa dia mengkritik. So there are several factors dan benda-benda yang berlaku in this particular situation. Now, sebelum saya ni diviralkan, dan the reason why I went viral is because it involved a very high profile punya case. So when it involves celebrity punya case, and yang nak bercerai, two of them are both celebrity.
Right.
Okay. So now here's the thing. The public in general, psychologically, we live vicariously through the lives of celebrity.
Faham?
Because kita dibesarkan, kita tengok cerita-cerita yang cantik-cantik, kita tengok Disney princess, and then after that they marry happily ever after. Tapi bila kita tengok hidup kita sendiri tak seperti itu. So tapi bila kita tengok celebrity, and celebrity ni semua banyak portray that lifestyle of what kita tengok semasa kita kecil, semasa kita tengah membesar. We see the Disney princess punya story, right? So therefore, if I cannot live that way, tak apa, I will live vicariously melalui artis-artis ni. So bila artis-artis kegemaran saya tengok lelaki tu elok, perempuan ni pun cantik, bila nak bercerai, kenapa nak bercerai? This destroys the
Perception.
the fantasy that I have in my head. Right? So dan saya tengok banyak komen, sebab saya pun lepas benda ni dikecam semua, saya tengok banyak orang hantar message kat saya, satukan mereka, minta saya satukan mereka, because it is a fantasy that is in their head, because maybe it is not happening in their life and they want to. So therefore, dia contoh macam peminat Manchester United, right? Dia tak kata, oh hari ni Manchester United menang, dia kata today we won, we lost. Sejak bila engkau ada saham ke Manchester United? Tak ada. Kau pernah beli jersey ke? Tak, beli kat Petani Street je. You have zero ownership on the club, but you say we lost. So people feel that they own. So therefore, similarly, people feel that they own these celebrities because it is, dia jadi peminat. Dan saya tak salahkan. It's normal. This is normal human psychology, right? So bila perkahwinan tu hancur, dia rasa macam saya punya own interest sudah hancur sekarang ni. Right? Lepas tu datanglah si dalang ni, seorang dasim tengah-tengah ni, datang in the middle of the picture, and they go like, dia ni mengganggu lah, kacau daun lah. We want them to get back together. So sebab tu lah. So that's why when I look at it, saya nak marah kat dia orang pun tak kat mana, because I understand where this is coming from. Right? And then the other thing also happen in this particular case, saya menemani my client masa-masa dia kena pergi ke mahkamah.
Yes.
Okay. Now the reason was because we needed to introduce her to another lawyer, because lawyer dia tarik diri. Okay. So dia tak sempat lagi berjumpa dengan lawyer tu. Okay. And masa the whole thing was a huge kacau bilau the night before, because lawyer tu tarik diri for whatever the reason may be. For me it's none of my concern lah. So bila lawyer tu dah tarik diri, so kita pun bantu dia, kita pun check lah, because we also have a few lawyers yang kita kenal dan sebagainya. Kan? Because we have been dealing with, saya sendiri pun pernah melalui cerai, my wife, and also kita memang kenal lawyer. So kita bawa, and malam tu dapat lawyer, besok pagi tu dah kena ada kat court. So kita yang saya pergi meneman dia untuk introduce. Masa tu semua press ambil gambar dan sebagainya. And kebetulan dia kata, this celebrity dah tak ada dah lawyer, tapi ada cerai coach. So now the lawyers are also threatened, like kerja lawyer dah diganti oleh cerai coach. Saya, itu bukan area saya, tak ada kena-mengena. Tetapi the persepsi, once it goes out that way, right? And also, media also, they will write in certain ways where they will create clickbait or rage bait, right? So itu yang orang macam, number one, engkau ni dah ganggu orang punya ni, punya perkahwinan, and this perkahwinan I got interest because I'm a fan of them. And then nombor 2, dia ni tiba-tiba pergi mahkamah syariah. Dia siapa? Dia expert agama ke? Dia lawyer ke?
Ambil job lawyer pula dia.
Ambil tugas lawyer pula. Ustaz ada. So orang katalah macam-macam ni semua kan. So then I look at it, I was like, okay, I understand. So now, so that's where it's coming from.
The
right?
netizen lah,
The netizens all come from there, and we know Malaysian netizens are like,
Yes.
they're the best in the world. They are
A1,
absolutely,
A1.
They're A1. They are the best. They are the best in terms of making things horrible, and they are also the best when it comes to combating Zionists like Israel. They are the best. Koyak. Right? So I respect them in that sense. So, tetapi apa yang saya nak jelaskan is that when anyone comes to me, lagi-lagi kalau dia belum lagi bercerai. Now, niat saya kalau boleh, because to me, marriage is a sanctity that we want to preserve as much as we can. Okay, it's something that is respected.
Till death do us apart.
Yes. Tetapi, kalau situasi tu tak elok or anything, then if it's inevitable, then we are open to that. Tapi sebanyak boleh, kalau boleh saya nak tolong dia selamatkan. Now, but when they come, bila dia datang, selalu dia akan datang tu, dia akan complain, blame everything tentang partner dia. Dan kerja saya boleh dengar je. Because the reality is, saya hanya dengar daripada sebelah pihak saja.
Betul.
Dan walaupun saya ada experience, I see a particular pattern, I can roughly have an assessment kat mana benda tu salah, but it is not for me to judge.
Okay.
I will not be a good coach if I start judging the situation. Alright? So I can make a rough assessment, but it is only for me. My question is always, what is it that you want? Oh, saya nak dia berubah. Dia tak boleh berubah sebab dia tak ada kat sini.
Okay.
Kan? So I'm not here to defend you or to join you and to renggangkan you lagi dengan dia. What do you want? Oh, saya nak to do. No, you have these choices. These are the choices. Ini pilihan-pilihan yang ada. You berubah. Oh, saya nak berubah macam mana? What you decide. Either you stay in the marriage, you make it work, ataupun you leave. You cannot stay there and just complain saja. You know, benda tu tidak. You know, it's also damaging to the children.
Yes.
It's toxic and all those kind of things. Now, I'll give this very classic example of a friend of mine. Don't have much problem with the husband. Dia masa dia datang jumpa saya, dia nak coaching dari segi dia nak membina career dia. Okay, so she wanted to make money. So I said, okay, fine, let me teach you how to, because that's also part of my coaching program. Lagi-lagi untuk ibu tunggal, lepas dia dah bercerai, they want to have ideas. Macam mana saya nak buat duit? Saya savings banyak ni je. Right? So how do I make money? So because I have that skills to help people alleviate their mindset, raise their consciousness to the area where they have ideas dan sebagainya untuk buat duit. So I was helping my friend out. So dia pun start buat duit. Bila dia dah buat duit, betul dia kata, okay, so I asked her, what do you want to do next? Oh, I want to work on my relationship lah. I said, hey, kenapa nak work in your relationship? I thought your relationship okay. Yes, my relationship is okay. Tapi I feel that I'm more ambitious than my husband. I am the breadwinner. My husband, dia jaga minimarket saja. Dia cakap kat saya, dia menjaga minimarket saja, dan I rasa macam tak puas lah, you know. So she's coming from a perspective of society where the husband must be the breadwinner,
the
provider mindset semua kan, which is fine, which is totally fine. So, but then I shared a few stories. I say I know a few people where the husband is a housewife.
House husband.
Sorry, housewife lah. House husband. Sorry, so house husband. And it's a relationship that works very well because the wife is a professional, husband handles everything is good, and she was like, okay, so she started seeing things from a different perspective. Right. Now, of course, if we talk about religion, some people argue that isteri punya income is not to be shared with the husband or whatever. Tapi if there is an agreement between the both the couple,
no
you know,
issue.
then there's no issue. So this is what happened between them, and the husband is memang jantan. I have seen the husband how he handles the kid. He is still the leader of the family. Doesn't mean that dia, walaupun dia tak membawa, he doesn't bring back the bread, so to say, right? Doesn't mean that he's not the man. So I shared this with her, and she was like, okay. Then she started seeing things from a different perspective. And then she started to realize, hey, hang on a minute, I think I'm complaining too much about my husband. I think I was always thinking that, oh, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But then I realized he handles all the groceries. I don't like to do groceries. If I have to do groceries, macam mana saya nak bekerja? He ensures that the household is in order. He ensures that he buys me this. Kadang-kadang stocking I koyak, dia yang belikan, and he really cares for me. She started seeing things from a different perspective. So that's why I shared with her and I said, when you change, your situation will change. I'm a strong believer because even in religion and stuff, it is a promise. When you change, God will help you. Right? So I told her, you need to change. So she changed her perspective. So when you change, two things will happen. Number one is your husband won't like you anymore. Because you dah berubah.
Betul.
And your husband will leave you. And by virtue of this law of vacuum, there will be a new partner who will match your standards, your new standards now. And you're going to have to be okay with that. Because it's beautiful. That is what has been dah ditakdirkan that it is supposed. Kita punya kerja is to raise our own standard and become better. Not for us to go and blame our husband or blame our wife. So when people come and see me, there is no blaming game here. Saya benarkan buat sementara waktu je. Kau nak lepaskan, kau lepaskan lah.
Okay.
Lepas tu kita tarik dia balik. Be responsible, be accountable, take ownership of the situation. Now, the number two thing that can happen is maybe your husband will also improve because you change. Your husband also become a different person, right? Because currently you can complain about your husband, but that is the perfect husband for you. Because itu perangai you. Kalau perangai anda seperti itu, then that's the kind of husband you will get. You janganlah complain. Kalau you nak husband yang lain, then you have to be a different person. Then your husband will become ni. A lot of people they just complain. Tapi kita cermin diri dulu. Apa yang are you saying that ini salah saya? Bukan, saya tak kata ini salah awak. I'm saying that this is an invitation for you to become a better human being. That is the basically the foundation of the work that I do with people.
Okay.
Oh, menarik kita dengar pun memang rasa macam convince, memang rasa macam ni kalau ada pasangan-pasangan yang bila nak luahkan ni, Coach Cerai ni kira sangat sabar, dengar dulu, lepas tu sambil-sambil tu selap. Ni kalau kita ni, kalau dia kata ni macam salah saya, ya memang salah kau. Okay. Jadi kalau kita yang jadi Coach Cerai memang
cerai
on the spot cerai. On the spot jadi cerai member tu dia tengah cerita masalah, kita pula kata tahu tak apa. Tapi memang
I told you so ke apa kan.
Sebenarnya dia memang perlukan banyak pembacaan, banyak skill. Dia bukan something like easily orang boleh terjun dalam bidang tu. Sebab 20 tahun kot dalam bidang kewangan, which is kita boleh kata dah memang firm lah kan. Tapi then tukar haluan
because dah 20 years dalam field ni, you like almost every single day you are engaging with a different human being. So more or less you understand some level of pattern lah. You boleh like average, you boleh like tangkap lah benda tu. But just want to ask, like you mentioned two things earlier. What is like the common pattern that you usually see that people come up with? Is it like a ambitious thing as you mentioned earlier, or is it money? Because nowadays we assume like kejatuhan rumah tangga, duit. That's the perception in Malaysia. But is that really the case, or is it something like what you mentioned, like is it ambition?
Kebanyakannya macam apa?
Kebanyakan always people think of money.
Well, money is one major one.
Memang betul lah.
So it's correct lah.
Kekangan duit dan sebagainya sekarang kan, because we live in a society, because people can't afford a lot of things, that gives pressure, adds tremendous pressure into the relationship. But however, I would always say that is a symptom rather than the cause. The main cause would be for me would be communication. That's number 2. Number 1 is personal growth. Personal growth and joint growth. In any relationship, when you come together, you have to grow together.
Yes.
You have to grow individually and you have to grow together. If you are growing, your income will also grow. The problem is people stop growing, and a lot of people take marriage as a destination. Saya sudah sampai, saya sudah tiba, dan saya tak perlu grow. That is the wrong misconception. I made that mistake. And I'm sure a lot of people also tend to make that mistake as well. And a lot of people feel that pembelajaran dan growth ends bila kita dah habis universiti. Kita dah tak perlu belajar lagi dah, lepas tu kita pergi kerja, itu saja. No, it is a constant punya process. And then today people are more aware about growing after university. Tapi growing in regards to growing my business, my career, but what about growing your family? then when I talk about growing your family, saya tak kata kena menambah-nambahkan anak. That's not what I'm talking about. Alright,
Not production lah.
I'm not talking about that particular production, right? Growth as in nak memantapkan the family. Yang itu yang that doesn't happen. And one of the things, so we need to learn things like communication. How do we communicate with each other? And a lot of people think that communication is not number one. Well, if you're talking about communication as in verbal words, that's only 20% of communication. Baru 20% ya. There's so many. There's body language, there's emotions and all those things. These are all things that makes up what communication is. So we need to understand all that. We need to be educated in regards to that, and we need to invest into that as well. So bila benda-benda tu dah buat, tak ada benda tu, the absence of all those things, itu yang jadi ada masalah kewangan, tak serasi lah, itulah, inilah, macam-macam bergaduh and all those kind of things. Now there is this growing conversation that people are saying that isteri saya narsis, husband saya narsis.
Narcissist, yeah.
Narcissism and stuff. Yes, it is growing right now because the world is, I was recently doing some research and it's discovered that if you go into the dating world, 1 out of 5 individual is a narcissist. That's 20%. So if you date 5 people, what does that tell about your chances? Chances are you probably run into one narcissist anyway, right? But the reality is, if narcissists also can change, if they are willing to grow and they want to put in the and if you grow, you can detect narcissists easily as well. You thought, ini narcissist, I want to stay away from this kind of people, right? And some people are subconsciously addicted to narcissists. They are attracting narcissists into their life because they want the drama.
Okay.
But they don't know about this. So these are all psychology stuff that we talk about. How the brain works. Then now earlier on you also mentioned okay. So back to the story, nak habiskan yang tadi tu about the friend that I was coaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Husband, after 2-3 weeks, husband dia mula berubah. Husband became more ambitious. And kebetulan mini market tu ditarik balik oleh management. So that is a real testament where if you change, you work on yourself, things will change. So yang you sibuk nak tukar husband you, kenapa? Change yourself. And when you change yourself, situation also will happen in such a way that,
Man in the mirror lah.
Yeah.
But actually, bila kata change ourselves, first, itu yang jadi masalah besar kan coach, sebab ego tu yang menyebabkan susah. Kenapa saya nak ubah, dia yang kena ubah itu saya.
But bila kita kata berubah kan, dia tak mestinya berubah tu sebab you are wrong. Dia tak semestinya berubah sebab you ada buat sesuatu kesalahan. Kalau you dah graduate daripada darjah 6, masuklah tingkatan 1. It's just going to the next level. There's nothing wrong. Perubahan doesn't mean that there is something wrong with me that I need to change. I've already graduated. I need to go to the next level. And bila kita tak pergi ke next level, itulah yang datangnya masalah-masalah, because it becomes stagnant. And becomes stagnant. Macam air tu, bila dia tak flow, datanglah nyamuk, jentik-jentik and all those kind of things, right? It becomes keruh air tu, right? It has to flow. Just like us, we have to grow, we have to continuously flow. So
be like water
yeah. Another thing is what just now baru teringat apa saya nak cakap. Kenapa kena ada third party into this situation? Ini hal rumah tangga orang, jangan masuk campur.
Yes.
Kan, you were asking antara satu kecaman. So this is something that I also discovered. Kalau saya bergaduh dengan isteri saya, kat mana saya nak pergi mengadu? Saya pergi mengadu kat mak ayah saya, adik-beradik saya, dan saya mengadu, lepas tu saya dah lepas semua geram. And one thing that people need to know, when emotion is high, intelligence is low.
Betul.
Right? So when intelligence is low, benda-benda merepek semua akan keluar.
Clouds your judgment lah.
Plus your judgment, betul.
Clouds your judgment.
Yeah, it clouds your judgment, right? Yeah, it clouds your judgment. And then when you go and see your family members and you tell all these things to your family members, And then your family members will hate your spouse.
Yeah, for sure, because dia mesti nak backup anak
Yeah,
dia.
backup you lah.
Dia backup kan. Tapi besok you dah habis lepas geram, you cinta balik kat isteri you, pergi balik kat isteri you, then now what does it cost now? There is this problem, right?
Yalah, parents dia tak
So the
selesa
next
lah.
time when you balik rumah tu, parents you akan nampak lain
Parents
lah.
nampak lain lah. Okay, so now what do I do? Okay lah, I pergi complain kat dia punya parents lah. Okay, I pun pergi complain kat dia punya parents. Dia backup lah daughter dia.
Yeah, betul.
Betul tak? Kan? Sini kita bukan nak cerita pertaruhan ke ataupun but we're talking about all, and then people kata tapi kan dia boleh pergi mengadu kat ustaz, pergilah mengadu kat ustaz. No problem, tak ada masalah. But some people are not comfortable with certain ustaz, right? I'm not saying that satu Malaysia ni kena datang kat Cerai Coach. Kalau rasa serasi, some people don't even like my face. That's fine. That's fine, right? Right? You can say whatever you want to say, but you cannot tell because saya takkan halang orang nak. It's up to you, right? It's your marriage. So, but I provide this platform, I provide this service where you can come and speak to me, someone who has no interest in that relationship, so to say, and I will not be biased.
So normally coach yang datang jumpa, contoh pasangan isteri datang jumpa, ada tak coach akan nak jumpa suami dia juga untuk dengar?
Yeah, two sides of the coin. Do you do that, or is usually like one side then they call, or has that never happened?
Yeah.
Pernah ada berlaku sekali, tapi it is not my request.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dorang bawa.
Because for me it's not to
it's not like a counselling
Oh,
session.
you're not a
for you,
counselor.
right?
okay,
Yeah,
number one,
yeah.
I'm not a counselor.
Yeah, that's right.
Number two is if someone wants to go through a divorce, to save a marriage, you have to save the individual first.
Okay.
Right? So the individual that came to me means there's something wrong that they need to be saved. So I work on them. I don't work on the marriage.
Okay.
They work on the marriage.
Okay.
You understand? It's because I'm a coach.
Okay.
If I give you an example, if I'm Alex Ferguson, I don't go into the field. I will work with the players.
Yeah.
Right? And so the players akan bertarung dengan the other team and stuff. I don't need to coach the other team. I will tell them this is how you play the game. So they play the game. So tapi kalau ada dua-dua datang, dia nak Adik saya tak layan dia punya bising-bising tu. Oh, dia buat macam tu, dia buat macam ni. Oh, okay. Oh, dia narsis. Ya, oh memang betul dia narsis. What do you want to do about it? Saya setuju dengan awak. But what do you want to do about it? You want to stay there or you want to do something about it? Kita bukan kat situ nak tambah api bagi dia lebih ni. We want
Jadi
to
lah.
divert their attention away from the problem to solution. What's the solution? Can this marriage be solved? You decide, can it be solved? Saya rasa memang tak boleh. Okay dah, kalau tak boleh nak buat apa? Oh, tapi saya nak dia berubah. Dah you kata tak boleh berubah. What do you want? Nampaknya kenalah cerai. You say, I didn't say.
Just want to ask lah, maybe it's a bit controversial and a bit too juicy. Have you come across anyone that maybe, of course maybe dorang curang ke apa ke, all those kind of things, but with the same sex gender, has that happened? No.
Oh, saya belum lagi.
Belum
Curang
lagi.
but with the same sex gender.
Because recently there's, not say recently lah.
So like contohlah dia datang jumpa, mungkin dia nak complain, dia kata suami dia
With
sikit-sikit
another
but
guy.
saya nak cerai ni sebab suami saya ni sebenarnya dia perasaan dia bukan pada
Yeah.
perempuan tapi
I have experienced that but not as a professional coach. Ini masa dulu.
Oh, okay.
Masa
before
dulu,
lah.
Masa before, then of course we will tell them again. My role was still the same. I asked them question. Apa are you okay with that?
Because nowadays you see like this trend and the relationship and the dating nowadays, especially the upcoming generation, selalu ni nak taruh Gen Z.
Spa pun dah ada special punya spa sekarang
Oh, is it?
Yang
kes tu lah.
Oh, yeah.
Dia pun tanya, are you see? Jo, bahaya tu. Silap masuk spa nanti.
Kena tahu tu. Kan? Imagine kalau kebetulan at that time silap masuk, at that time kena rate. Tak pasal.
Betul. Yeah.
Kenapa spa ni tak ada perempuan?
Yeah. So Yeah, on a low key lah. This thing has been happening in Malaysia lah.
Yes.
I think eventually dia
Yes.
akan lagi ni kan.
Yes.
So that has not. I mean, only once in your life lah you've experienced that.
Once or twice, but these are friends.
Friends
who have
lah.
come up to me and say, "Oh, I didn't know he was actually this. Okay, well now you know. I understand. Kita bersempati lah dengan dia.
Okay.
Kan? Kita bukan tak ada hati perut. Ya, kita bersempati lah. But then this has happened. And I'm a strong believer that things do not. Life does not happen to us. It happens for us. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
You know, kalau sesuatu musibah ke apa-apa saja yang, kalau musibah tu kita yang labelkan benda tu sebagai musibah sebenarnya.
It can
Kan?
be a hikmah,
If you look at
right?
it from a larger perspective, a lot of people say, oh, I'm successful today because saya dah jatuh banyak-banyak kali. Tapi masa tengah jatuh tu kita tak kata jatuh, kita kata musibah. Tapi bila kita dah berjaya and we have gone up, we go like, actually that was the defining moment that changed
The
my
hikmah
life.
lah.
Ada hikmah dia kan. So anyway, bila sesuatu berlaku, whatever the musibah may be, we turn it into hikmah. That's how we look at it, and we go like, oh, hang on a minute, this is an invitation for me to be better, to be greater, to rise and become, because kita kan, we are growing. We're always growing. If you're not growing, then what's going to happen to you? A tree that is not growing is a tree that is dying.
Betul. Are there any differences in your approach when it comes to, because you said most of your clients are not of the same faith as you are, but are there differences in approach or sama je?
Sama, because I don't go into religion.
Okay, faham.
I stay clear out of religion. So bagi mereka-mereka yang kata
to clarify that lah kan.
clarify yang dia tak menggunakan ajaran Islam dan sebagainya. I understand we are talking about relationship. I have clients who are very religious. They keep their ustaz. They keep their ustazahs. Right? I ada klien yang pakai purda pun ada. They come to me in terms of life experiences. They still go to their ustaz.
Okay.
And they still go to their ustazah for Islamic teachings and teachings that is applicable to areas of their life when it comes to religious matters. So to me, I'm not here to replace ustaz and I'm not here to compete with them either. So bagi saya itu satu benda yang tak masuk akal. I mean, this may not be a good comparison. Tapi kalau saya pergi ke workshop, hantar kereta saya untuk repair, because there's something wrong with my car. Saya perlu tanya ke sama awak ni Islam ke tidak? Awak repair kereta ni baca bismillah ke tidak? That's not.
I got it.
You get what I mean? I'm not a religious teacher.
Yeah.
I talk about the dynamics, the mindset and the psychology of relationships.
Betul. Setiap orang ada kepakaran bidang masing-masing.
Betul.
Bukan semua benda perlu kepada agamawan. And kalau ada kepakaran itu, kita tengok kepakaran ni apa, dan jangan kita kaitkan pula dengan agama. Yang ni the biggest problem lah in Malaysia. Sebab kebanyakan orang bila dia nampak saja orang Islam, lepas tu tidak jadikan agama tu
as a sumber
utama dia, menjadi masalah.
Betul.
Sebab kita tak boleh judge orang macam tu. And tu pendirian dia. And klien kita ada kadang-kadang yang non-Muslim pun ada. And kita kena neutral, dan untuk yang paling penting, professionnya adalah untuk personality seseorang itu, untuk dia faham. And so dari sini kita dapat faham bahawasanya coach dia bukan masuk campur kehidupan rumah tangga ataupun dia perlu buat keputusan cerai ataupun tidak. And coach hanyalah guide untuk dia keluar dan dia faham apa masalah yang dia lalui, dan dia kena kenal pasti, dan kalau dia boleh ubah, dan kalau dia dapat solution tu, nanti benda tu akan ubah rumah tangga tu jadi lebih baik. Tapi kalau contoh, kalau ditanya dah bagi segala option, still tak ada jawapan, dia yang akan bagi jawapan tu sendiri. Contoh dia kata, saya rasa tak ada jawapan dah, saya rasa tak boleh dah, kena berpisah. Itu pun adalah keputusan dia sendiri. Tidak ada orang kata apa, dorongan ataupun kita kata hasutan dia, yang disebut Dasim tadi tu tak ada lah kan. Bukan coach lah kan. Itu maksud dia.
Alright, Bro Syazwan dan juga Coach, kita dah sembang banyak ni, and we have more questions to ask. We'll take a short break in Satu Mesej podcast. Stay tuned. Alright guys, Assalamualaikum and welcome back to the Satu Mesej podcast bersama saya Bro Joshua, Bro Shazwan dan juga Coach Cerai. Sampai sekarang I pun tak pasti nak panggil Coach. Yeah, but anyways, okay. So Coach, so now we're going to go into the second topic. Mungkin kita nak tahu juga sebab now we live in a social media world. Semua benda dekat social media. Kita tak jumpa kawan tu pun tak payah. Just tengok dia punya story dah tahu dah pasal apa dia buat last week, semua benda jumpa je, just summarize for him, then nothing to talk about. So this is very common nowadays. So social media ni, adakah dia ada peranan dalam rumah tangga, especially nowadays? Yeah, nowadays in our generation or even the older generation.
Because kan kalau older generation lah, like Indian culture something. Kalau contohlah takat gambar, lepas tu post banyak apa semua tunjuk kehidupan. Dia kata nanti orang tengok kita bahagia sangat, nanti boleh merosakkan
kalau
penyakit ain lah
penyakit ain, evil eye. Kita panggil evil eye lah.
Evil eye lah kan. So
orang Melayu kita panggil.
So dia
kalau
kata
bahasa utara dia kata kena mata.
Kena mata lah, betul, kena mata. Maksudnya nak bagi tahu, adakah assumption yang kata sebenarnya sejak ada media sosial ni, banyak yang dipost ni, maksudnya keluarga nampak pasangan bahagia tapi sebenarnya hancur di belakang. Depan je, maksudnya di sosial media je nampak macam tu, tetapi sebenarnya hakikatnya di belakang ni banyak berlaku. Contohnya
even like the perception like, I see my friend go here go there, kita pun nak pergi juga. Then dia rasa macam bingung and all that. So maybe you can share with us.
Definitely. That's a very very good point, because social media has really changed our lives tremendously, right? And also by virtue of the fact that social media now has become the 5th domain that we can exist in.
Betul.
Because previously we could only exist in 4 domains. And that would be land, water, air and space. Right? But now there's social media. There's another world. There's a completely new world, and it's such a huge world, and it's growing rapidly. And it's growing at the rate where kita sendiri pun we're not the ability to understand this animal that has grown so huge.
AI lah.
Sebelum kita boleh understand technology and tiba-tiba dia datang AI pula, kan? It's so huge, and our consciousness as human beings belum tak sempat pun nak mengejar, and to be able to manage this. But social media now has given the ability for everyone to be influencers, celebrities, and to have a public image or public persona. It has also given people platform to air their grievances. Macam dulu orang kalau tak puas hati apa, kita membawang dengan kita punya neighbor and stuff, right? And there's no such thing as it goes viral. Betul. Kalau viral pun viral within the neighborhood. And it takes time for it to viral. And as we know, time kills off a lot of this negativity.
Betul.
Kan? So by the time dia sampai rumah ketiga dah tone down, dah ada cerita baru, whatever. But in social media now, time is almost zero. Within seconds benda tu boleh spread, right? So benda-benda tu semua memang memainkan peranan. It does change because people now have a voice. People are able to read certain things. The awareness have also increased tremendously. The understanding of the existence of narcissism, psychopath, and all those kind of things. Sekarang ni semua benda red flag. Sikit-sikit je red flag. Kalau kita nampak orange, magenta, red flag lah tu. Kan, semua sikit-sikit je red flag. So kalau red flag je, semua pun jadi especially a lot of people now, they tend to become snowflakes. Sikit-sikit je tak nak lah, I don't want this marriage lah. Of course dia memainkan peranan in that sense, because we have access to this information and knowledge. But however, who's sieving through those information? It goes out faster before we can filter it, or before there is a process of managing that information, kan? So benda ni kita dibombard with all kinds of information. Now, not forgetting this persona and image that people want to put
like a fictitious lifestyle lah, kan?
Sorry?
Fictitious lifestyle.
It does, right? And it puts tremendous pressure, right? Unnecessary pressure to relationships, to individuals. Even if you're not talking about relationships, mentally also it is affecting people. You don't have to be in a relationship, and mentally all on your own, you look at someone else, wow, dia dah ada Ferrari, saya punya bila pula? Padahal dia sewa.
Dia tak tahu.
They don't have to know kan?
They don't have to know, so but even kalau dia tak sewa pun, then it puts this, so now because of social media, people are not in their own lane. Bayangkan kalau kita bawa kereta, kita dah sibuk tengok lane-lane orang, kelang kabut lah. It becomes chaos, right? And instead of jaga kain sendiri, duk jaga tepi kain orang. Because bangun pagi je terus scroll social media. Oh wow, dia ni. Kita masak pun tak buat lagi, anak pun tak jaga lagi. Because you're so consumed by the other lanes and not your own lane.
That's very unhealthy, right?
It
Bangun
is
je tengok.
Tapi betul lah sebab saya ada sport bike lah. So bila kawan-kawan datang apa semua kan, diorang mestilah nak tahu, aku nak try motor hang jap. Dia duduk apa semua tangkap gambar. Then dia akan post. Bila post dia kata apa? Baru ambil motor tadi. Kita macam, motor siapa kau ambil? Itu satu. Kadang pergi, contoh saya pergi ceramah kan, kuliah ada orang ikut kan. Dia ikut apa semua, dia ambil lah gambar daripada depan sikit. Sebab dia datang depan, dia ambil daripada jemaah dia. Lepas tu dia kata, baru selesai ceramah tadi, dia kata, woi, aku yang ambil ceramah ni, bila masa kau ceramah pula?
It happens.
Bila buat macam tu, kita pun tanya dia, kau selalu post-post macam ni, kenapa? Dia kata, oh tak ada, sebab bila post-post macam ni, orang akan tengok, dia akan nampak kita ni macam, oh hebat lah sikit. Dia banyak retorik lah. So lepas tu bila buat macam tu, lepas tu orang pun macam selalu tanya dia kita, lepas tu orang pun dia katalah nanti macam ada job datang lah apa semua kan. So kita boleh nampak orang sebenarnya macam coach sebut lah tadi, diorang ni bila letak ataupun dia tunjuk apa-apa kekayaan ke apa, kadang-kadang kita tak tahu intention dia.
Correct.
Kan? Sebab apa? Kadang-kadang boleh jadi benda tu dia tak ada pun. Dia tak buat pun. Kan?
Betul.
Dia sekadar create saja benda tu bagi orang percaya. Because orang kata apa? Orang tak nampak scene tu.
Betul.
Dia orang just nampak apa yang di post sahaja.
Betul.
Kan? Lepas tu coach, ada satu, kalau coach ingat lah, ada pernah viral. Seorang influencer juga, perempuan ni dia buat orang kata apa, tengah buat live macam tu. Lepas tu tak tahulah, mungkin perempuan ni marah-marah suami dia dalam live tu. Jadi suami dia marah, dia jatuhkan talak.
Masa live tu, okay.
Masa live tu kan.
Pernah dengar tapi I didn't see it. But that was about 1 or 2 years ago kan.
Yes. Masalahnya benda tu jadi 2 kali. Kali yang pertama bila buat, lepas tu dia nak okay balik. Saya pernah dengar, saya tak tahu kepastian dia orang kata benda tu dibuat gimmick untuk dapatkan konten tu.
Uish.
Tapi sebenarnya talak tu dah jatuh kan, kalau kita lah kan. Lepas tu dah settle lah. Lepas tu kali kedua berlaku balik. Dan saya tak tahu lah sekarang ni macam mana situation dia. Tapi benda-benda macam ni diambil remeh lah. Digunakan semata-mata untuk naikkan viewer. Sebab dia orang nampak kehidupan ni kena ada media sosial. Tak kisahlah baik ke buruk ke, dengan apa cara sekalipun untuk bawa. Dia orang tak nampak. Kalau dalam, yelah, kalau kita faham kehidupan ni, sumber keberkatan tu dah tak ada, diorang ni sanggup buat apa saja.
Betul.
Rosakkan. Kan?
You know, there's this recently they were yang tengah viral tu about one particular dah jadi influencer dia sekarang. Orang maki hamun. Yang dia cakap tu kerja perempuan hanya untuk kangkang je.
Okay, that guy.
Alright.
Yeah, I think betul.
Yeah.
He's
And orang kata dia ni apa? Okay, the reality is etika, ethics, values, put that aside. Okay? If you put all that aside, he's a genius.
Okay.
He is a genius. Because I was curious. I went to see dia ni, what is he all about? And kalau you masuk dia punya social media, you ingat dia half of the things, at least half of the things that he says, he doesn't believe in it.
betul.
But he's just saying it because we now have moved. You know apa yang dah basi dalam social media sekarang ni? Clickbait. Clickbait dah basi. Because it has moved away from clickbait to rage bait. Bagi orang marah. Dulu nak tunjuk Ferrari, nak tunjuk itu apa semua kan. Orang dah tahu dah benda ni semua clickbait. Ini semua nak dalam silap tipu sebenarnya. Ke motor dia betul, ke motor dia and all this kind of thing. These clickbaits are not really working anymore because it is dopamine, you know. When we're talking about this dopamine punya high, especially anyone who's familiar with addiction dan sebagainya, right? After a while, ini tak cukup. Kita nak lebih. So now it's gone to a level where you are actually tengah pancing orang, kemarahan orang.
Betul.
Why do you think he said those kind of things?
Yeah.
Lepas tu dia buat video, dia kata, tengok guys, sekarang ni kita bila dah famous, kita dapatlah makan free ni semua. Who made him famous? kalau bukan orang yang duk membincangkan benda-benda tu semua. And lagi you marah, lagi naik benda tu.
Betul.
So you cannot just blame him. He's just playing a game that is available to him. And we are part of that game. And we also contribute to that game.
Yeah.
So sebelum kita nak menunding jari, kita nak blame, put the blame 100% on him. No, this orang nak cari makan sekarang ni lah. People will do whatever it is.
Tapi itulah kan mental
Sampai
dia.
macam you cakap kan, sampai talak pun boleh main. Wow.
Dahsyat.
Itu memang tonggang lah tu. Itu memang tonggang.
Tonggeng lah, tonggeng.
Itu tonggeng. Itu dah tonggeng agama dah tu. Bukan tonggang dah tu. That's the next level, you know. You boleh main talak just to increase your viewership. Wow. Insane.
Itulah.
Alright. So, Bro Shazwan and juga Coach Cerai, thank you so much. I think supaya audience yang tengok kita punya episod, insyaAllah boleh dapat manfaat dan juga mungkin boleh ambil iktibar kalau ada.
Kita ada game. Arah mana satu tu?
We can do a quick one, no problem.
Quick one.
Boleh.
Just simply lah.
Okay.
Tak
apa. Sebelum tu kita main satu segmen sebab actually I nak jump straight because time is short.
Okay, just 2 question maybe.
Okay lah.
Arah mana
Maybe
satu?
maybe one question lah.
Okay, one. Okay.
Okay, one question. Okay.
Saya pun nak tahu juga apa benda ni. I know it's short of time, but it's okay. Let's
Okay. So kita akan ke segmen yang seterusnya. Pilih arah yang mana satu. Sama ada manakala Coach Cerai ni, okay, so basically we will give you 3 questions. Okay, in one question there'll be 2 answers. So just pick one option and then you explain why lah. Okay. So basically we'll go like this. So for example, as I given you earlier, okay, coffee or tea, something like that. Then you just explain. Okay, coffee, so and so, and whatnot. Okay. So soalan yang pertama, nasi lemak or roti canai?
Dia lagi susah daripada klien yang datang jumpa aku
Did I
ni.
hit the right button?
You hit the right button. Why? Because you asked someone who's raised by Penangites.
Hence why
Because
I
we're
asked.
all about food. We're all foodies, and Malaysian foodies, and you give us a choice between the two where dua-dua pun nak juga kan. But I have to choose one.
You have to choose one. Just explain secara santai why. Oh, because so and so.
Dua-dua pun sedap ni.
Usually our question memang macam kena pilih sama ada ibu ataupun bapa.
Kan? Dia telan hidup mati ibu ni kan. Sama lah tu nasi lemak dengan roti canai kejap. Boleh tanya soalan tak?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Nasi lemak tu kosong ke?
Ada
lauk
ayam.
tak?
Ayam goreng berempah.
Roti canai tu ada apa?
Ada okey lah.
Roti canai ada apa?
Selalu ni ada ayam juga kan? Ada lauk juga kan?
Kuah kambing.
If you had said roti canai with ayam, I would have gone nasi lemak.
Yeah.
But
I know.
because you went roti canai and kambing, now
Sebab tadi dah boleh perasan lah. Bila
Okay.
kata ayam, saya kata tak boleh tadi. Kuah kambing.
Nampak? Okay, roti canai kambing lah.
Oh, nasi lemak gagal lah kalah.
True Penangite lah.
Kambing lah.
Kambing lah.
Ini memang true.
Kambing. If you had said roti canai dengan kari ayam, I would have gone ayam goreng berempah with nasi lemak. But because you said roti canai dengan kambing, that one weakness lah.
Okay. Alright. Soalan yang seterusnya, number 2.
So kita dah tahu kambing lah favourite dia.
Yeah. I think it's like a very Penangite kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Meat eaters and kambing as well.
Yeah. He also from, bukan daripada Penang lah.
Not Penang, my wife.
So that's the reason why he pressed the hot button.
Nice.
Okay. Alright, soalan yang kedua. Okay, I'll give you 2 scenarios. Just pick one. Okay. A rainy day, stay at home, or hot weather, you want to walk into a mall. Like shopping ke apa ke. Because usually nowadays Malaysia panas, kita pergi mall lah kan.
A rainy day, stay at home, or a hot day,
You go to the mall.
into the mall.
Yeah, because it's cold.
Okay. Maybe 15 years ago, my answer would be different, but today it would be rainy day at home.
So because of calmness, relax.
Yeah. Also, 15 years ago, my house wasn't nice. Okay, it's much nicer to be in the mall.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something very simple lah. Because now you're terjebak dalam medsos. You prefer TikTok or Instagram?
Well, straight for Instagram.
Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram. I'm from that generation.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was forced into TikTok. I'm very fascinated by TikTok. It's very fascinating. Tapi macam pasar malam.
Betul.
A lot of stuff, everything.
It's lots of
People are
stuff.
selling
It's
stuff.
bersepa. But I am fascinated. I'm still very fascinated by it. Tapi cuma dia is you asking me ibarat here's the thing. I love pasar malam also. I love going eating pasar malam and stuff. But if you ask me between dining in Four Seasons or you're gonna have laksa in pasar malam, for example, I love both. I really like it. I'm using food here, right? I love both. Tapi cuma if I really have to pick, then obviously I would pick Instagram. I find Instagram to be more classier in that sense compared to TikTok.
I want to ask you a bonus question lah. Don't mind. Okay. In terms of food wise, if you can choose one food, okay, like the first thing that comes to your mind on like a very tired day ke apa ke, the first thing that you open, what is that one food that you go for?
I'm very tired, super tired day.
Yeah, like a long day, you come home, the first thing that comes to your mind, contoh nak order or anything ke,
Nak makan apa je,
or
just
you want to tapau, the
anything.
first thing that comes to your mind, like the easiest thing, like what is that?
Fruits.
Fruits. Oh, what fruits? Like grapes? Oh,
Okay, jambu.
jambu.
Last time Poi said
Which is,
mango.
fruits. Yeah, I love mango fruits. My favorite food would probably be fruits.
Fruits. Oh.
Yeah. And then followed by meat and seafood.
Oh, so you snack on fruits all the
Oh
time.
yeah, I love fruits. I
So,
consume a lot of fruits.
Kambing kalah.
Susah. This is when you say things like that, right? And you say, coach, kat depan tu you pilih satu lah. You nak Rolls Royce ke you nak Ferrari? It's dua-dua pun best.
Best, betul.
And dua-dua pun best, but they're two different function dia dua yang berbeza sangat kan.
Okay, faham.
Okay, coach. So we come to the end of the episode. So bertemakan kita punya podcast, iaitu Satu Mesej.
Yes.
Okay, if you have one message that you like to share, maybe to yourself, to an individual, ataupun satu masyarakat atau seluruh dunia, what would that be?
So my message is, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Since we spoke about social media and the troubles, or rather the penyakit-penyakit yang kita sedang menghadapi sekarang ni dengan adanya social media. Now, having said that, I believe social media is a wonderful, beautiful thing. I do not wish to vilify social media, tapi bagaimana kita menggunakan social media, how we consume contents and how we engage in social media, I think is very, very important. And this message berkait rapat dengan experience saya baru-baru ni, where orang banyak datang bagi tomahan and judgment and all those kind of things. I would say don't be so quick to judge, especially, and I want to talk about in the area that I work with heavily, which is in regard to people's relationship dan perceraian dan sebagainya. Kita cepat sangat kita nak menunjuk jari, kita kata salah bini dia kot, salah ni.
Betul.
The truth is, the reality is kita tak tahu salah siapa dan sebagainya. Walaupun orang tu datang duduk bercakap dengan saya pun, dia dah menceritakan segala-gala cerita on that person's side, tapi kita tak dengar cerita bahagian suami ataupun bahagian isteri dia. So kalau orang macam saya yang dah dengar semua pun, I still choose not to pick sides. And kalau boleh, even if I call out certain things or whatever, I call out from a compassionate punya manner. It's like, mari kita berubah. Saya bukan nak menjatuhkan seseorang tu kan. Kadang-kadang mungkin kalau ada keganasan ataupun maybe the wife could be someone yang sikit-sikit nak bercerai, kan. Tapi I don't look down on that person. I say we can be better than this. And again, I'm coming from not a judgmental punya point of view. So my message to the world is, when you go on social media and you see all this sort of contents, do not engage in this madness where kita pun pergi tambah garam, pergi tambah gula, you know, because I think that's not good for our society. And there is no control. Macam mana kita nak control benda ni, you know? And if we want a better future for our people, it's very important that we consume it responsibly.
Masya Allah. Satu message yang padat, mantap and sampailah, kan?
Betul. So guys, Ingat, jangan cepat judge orang. Kadang-kadang apa yang kita lihat tu tak sentiasa betul. Jangan kita mudah percaya.
You're laughing about the...
I'm not laughing about it because it reminds me of this one particular. This was years back. There was this one friend of ours. Dia pergi masjid, dia semayang. Kadang-kadang bukan kat masjid je, kat rumah pun. Dia semayang pun ada juga selfie. How do you pray and selfie? And dia dalam bilik tu seorang-seorang. And my question is, siapa ambil gambar awak ni? Ni semayang kusyuk ke tidak ni? Like, what's going on? But it's all about social media. Kita nak tunjuk kita ni pious, kita ni orang yang bersolat dan sebagainya. I'm like, wow. But that's the world we live in. I'm so fascinated by it.
Coach, would you want to maybe share your expertise and, things that you do? Maybe
Oh,
people
thank
can
you very
reach out
much.
to you. Yeah.
I have just recently finished a 3-day workshop untuk orang-orang yang nak membina diri balik, orang yang sama ada bercerai ataupun tidak ada dalam, they're not in a relationship or they want to find pasangan but they want a new comeback. I am going that workshop has been very very successful. I do it almost every month, but this year I'm going to do one more time before we end the year. Towards the end, sebelum 31 Disember, saya nak buat lagi sekali 3 hari workshop. And this workshop is 1.5 jam setiap malam untuk 3 hari berturut-turut. Harga dia hanyalah RM70 ataupun bayar apa sahaja yang mampu. Because 100% of the proceed goes to charity. There is one rumah anak yatim in Sungai Buloh where myself dan juga saya punya student-student saya yang mengikuti saya, kita akan mengunjungi rumah tu. Sebelum kita sampai kat rumah tu, kita akan pergi ke kedai Econ Safe berdekatan, kita akan beli barang-barang rumah and hantar, and we will spend time with the rumah anak yatim. That's also become a part of our program as well, untuk membantu dari segi healing and all those kind of things. So if you want to join and you want to contribute to this, you can come and check out my 3-day workshop. And after my 3-day workshop, if you think the work that I do serasi and something that's good, you want to be part of the program, then I would invite you to come and see our program.
And where can they find you, Coach?
So you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Instagram, Cerai Coach, or you can even go to Facebook as well. I'm also my name is Izari Iqbal on Facebook. Tapi kalau type Cerai Coach,
confirm lah.
Alhamdulillah today dah nama tu dah meletup dah pun. So memang membantu. Yang bagi mereka-mereka yang bagi saya yang maki hamun, caci saya pun berterima kasih sangat kepada anda semua. Thank you so much.
Pernah dapat ni tak thread tak?
Ada. Tapi it's just the comments lah.
Comment
to me, it's like
lah.
whatever lah. Dia ni macam-macam lah. But to me, you're doing me a favour. Terima kasih banyak.
Yeah. Okay. Sampai situ saja. Thank you so much.
Jangan lupa subscribe,
Like.
follow dan share kepada ramai lagi supaya dapat banyak manfaat daripada podcast kita pada hari ini. So Jo.
Okay, dengan itu saja daripada saya, Bro Joshua, Bro Shazwan dan juga Coach Cerai. Right, assalamualaikum.
Bro Coach. Okay lah. Again.
Tersyashul.
Alright, assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye-bye.
See you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Good night pula. Okay, bye-bye.